My word to them is, hope the cops get you first. And it's not me.
Right now on News 3 Live at noon, road rage. A woman fighting for her life after being shot during a road rage incident. Her family speaking out in a press conference in moments.
And police shooting. Metro speaking about a shooting involving one of their officers that happened earlier this week. What they have to say about it coming up.
Found. 2 local teenage girls recovering at a hospital after running away from their homes more than a week ago. The latest on their conditions as News 3 Live at noon starts right now.
Covering all southern Nevada. This is News 3.
Good afternoon and thank you for being with us. We start out today with the tragic and senseless story about road rage. A local mother teaching her daughter to drive was shot while driving home in what authorities are calling a road rage incident.
So we ran into the family earlier this morning. Antonio Castellan is at the family's house now. The father is speaking to the media. This is Robert Myers. Let's listen into what he has to say.
You can go through me. I'm not going to say anything of the crime itself except what's here, because there is an ongoing investigation. I don't want to ruin anything that has the slightest possibility of catching these 3. I will say this is where my wife lost her life, and she hasn't lost it yet, but she will today. There's nothing they can do for my wife because the 3 guys wanted to plow into a mother of 4 and come back and shoot her, follow her home and kill her. This is what I got to say to the 3. Turn yourself in. I'm here, right here. You got a qualm? I'm right here. You know what you did last night? You come here. I'm here. But other than that, turn yourself in. And if anybody has any compassion out there, I've lived here damn near all my life. I've raised up here. My family's been in this city for 117 years. I come from a good stock of DAs in this town. George Franklin was one of them, and I wish he was alive to prosecute these guys. But I'm going to say this, anybody that has any information, please help. I don't care, you don't have to give your name, any little thing to help the police. And I'm sure after this and after I turn off the machines to my wife today, I'm hoping the governor, mayor of the city, anybody, we've got to do something and take our city back. This city wasn't like that. This city came from bad to good. Now we're going to bad again. This is an example, a mother of 4 who had to lose her life because she was teaching her daughter how to drive. What is it coming to here in Vegas? I need somebody to tell me, because I don't understand it no more. We vote all these people in. I don't feel safe. Every time you turn around, somebody's getting shot. Now you got an innocent mother who did nothing to nobody her whole life but help people. A nurse, and a mother of 4. And she had to lose her life for what? I don't understand it. And nobody's answered that question. I know the police are doing an investigation. We have the best in the world here, and I'm totally confident they're going to catch this guy. And they're going to be in contact with me later, I'm sure. But if anybody out there, anybody has any information, I'm not going to give any details right now. That's for the police because I don't want to ruin any possible chance of these killers found. But I will let all you Nevadans and Las Vegans know and across wherever who's listening, this was a mother of 4. I loved her, and she was a good woman, and she didn't deserve this. It's all she's ever done is help people. And that's all I have to say, guys. Here.
A very difficult and emotional press conference to listen in on. That husband and father making a plea to the public. He's asking for those suspects to turn themselves in. He's just saying the senseless violence has to stop. Now this mother of 4 will likely lose her life today as he's expected to pull the life support from his
Well,
wife.
our Antonio Castellan is out there, so as soon as they get everything situated, get the mics off of him, we'll be checking in with him again. But for those who are not familiar with what happened last night, right around 11 o'clock, this woman, her name is Tammy, she was driving, she's 44 years old, driving with her daughter. This is near Alta and Cimarron Drive. This is where they live. According to that man you just heard there, that's Tammy's husband, Robert. He says that his wife and daughter, they were practicing driving at a parking lot. They were headed home. They were in front of a car with 3 men in it. The men were impatient with them because they were going too slow and started to harass them. They drove straight home. Some sort of altercation outside of the house. The mom was shot in the head. The daughter ran inside to get help. One of the older sons came out. Again, this is according to Robert. This is what he told me this morning, and fired a gun back at the three in the car. The car sped off. The woman laid there, left there to die, and she has not died yet, according to Robert, but it sounds like they may have to make a very difficult decision to pull the plug. So the entire family was out there at UMC this morning. Actually, Robert was in California and drove all night back to Las Vegas after getting this horrendous call about what happened to his wife. So right now, what we're working with is we're waiting to see what happens with Tammy. It is so unfortunate that it looks like she may lose her life, but we're also looking for these 3 people. It was a 4-door silver sedan, possibly, I don't know this for sure, but he told me it could have gun or bullet holes in it because the son was firing back. Anybody with information, please come forward to police. We need to find these guys.
Yeah. All right, we're going to check back with our Antonio Castellan to find out a little bit more
Very difficult
about this
story.
developing story. Okay, we're going to transition to this new video today from Metro Police showing the moments after an officer shot a man with a gun.
That's the suspect laying on the ground. Weapon here.
Well, officers responding to a call earlier this week at the Suites on Boulder Highway near Flamingo eventually found the suspect and gave him commands to stop. Soon after, a scuffle between the suspect and one of the officers broke out. That's when a second officer noticed a gun in the suspect's waistband. The suspect pulled out the firearm and began pointing it toward officers. You can see it in the body cam video police release. The second officer fired, hitting the suspect multiple times. As this was unfolding, a large crowd gathered.
You see that it's very difficult for these officers to keep control of that crime scene when you have a large crowd that's gathering between the buildings that are coming.
Undersheriff McMahill says that the suspect is still recovering at Sunrise Hospital.
All right, now to an amazing story of survival you will only see here on News 3. My goodness. Okay, those were gunshots. This is surveillance video showing a local cab driver shot twice in a North Las Vegas neighborhood. This happened early Wednesday morning. Cab driver Frank O'Grady was approached by a man when another man walked up to him from behind. You just saw that highlighted there. Well, O'Grady was shot at by these men. It looks like he was hit twice. He sped off and called for help. Police and paramedics got to him a few minutes later at a nearby gas station, and he is expected to be okay. Officers are still looking for the men who shot him. So again, if you know anything about this case, please call Crime Stoppers, the number 702-385-5555.
2 more teens are behind bars this morning connected to a violent home invasion and rape from last month. Police say a total of 5 teens broke into a home near Fort Apache and Blue Diamond, took turns raping a woman inside and stole things. Detectives say they also threatened to kill her and the man in front of their own children. Metro says both teens arrested are minors. Their names have yet to be released.
2 local teenage girls are recovering at UMC today after running away from their homes more than a week ago. We have been looking for these girls for the past week. 13-year-old Camila Cortez and 14-year-old Lana Moan were found hiding in a house on the east side of the valley near Pecos and Owens. The police are not telling us much except for that the girls were reportedly high on drugs and had to be taken to UMC to be treated. Their families reached out to the Red Rock Search and Rescue team, who worked tirelessly to try to look for these 2 girls. In the end, it was one man named Roland Munoz who tracked the girls down through social media.
He definitely treated the girls like if it was his. He was looking for his child and stuff, and he put the real hard work and his heart into it. And it doesn't, you know.
There's no words. There's no words. But we're here, and there's still a lot of kids out there in the same situation, and they're not throwaway kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're just troubled kids.
So this was a huge community effort. There were flyers out, billboards up, you name it. The media was involved. Red Rock Search and Rescue has solved every runaway child case that has been given to them so far, and now they have another one that they helped solve. So
Yeah,
I know that
that's
was a hard news block to start things off.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult when we start the newscast off with stories like that. So we're going to pivot off of that, and we're going to transition to something that should uplift everyone a little bit. We're talking about the weather because it's been gorgeous.
Say let's talk pleasantly here because the
Yes.
weather is just so beautiful out there, and I'm so excited because this is a 3-day weekend for a lot of people. If you have President's Day off, lucky you. I mean, from the south side of the valley, you can see that it's just beautiful out there, southeast part of the valley. Here's the current temperatures right now from the Red Rock Resort. Now, I think that there might be something wrong with this computer because it's saying 56, but when I move on to this one, it says we're in the 70s. So I think there's a gremlin in that computer again. He keeps coming back to bother me.
It's popping up.
But anyways, 70s all the way across the board. 68 right now in Anthem, but we're going to all be in the 70s by the end of the day. I'll let you know how high we're going to get today, what the weekend is going to look like, and then we're going to start seeing some changes. I'll let you know when those are coming.
All right, thank you, Michelle, for that. Another dramatic day in the trial of the man accused of killing Chris Kyle. That was the soldier whose story was made famous by the movie American Sniper. The latest on this riveting trial.
And this small business owner is being victimized in a check cashing scam that could target any of us. So what we need to watch out for in today's Rip-Off Alert coming up.
Plus, President Obama appears in a BuzzFeed video promoting health care, and it's trending. It's got you talking, and we're talking about it on the other side of the break.
Welcome back in. Another dramatic day in the trial of the man accused of murdering Chris Kyle. He was the soldier whose story was made famous by the movie American Sniper.
The jury saw startling footage of a police chase and then arresting him, all captured from a patrol car's dash cam. NBC's Jacob Rascone has the latest.
The dash cam video shows police chasing a black Ford F-350 for 10 minutes. The truck belongs to American Sniper Chris Kyle, but behind the wheel is his killer. A patrol car slams into the truck, but it only speeds up, swerving through dark Texas roads for miles before finally coming to a stop. When out comes former Marine Eddie Ray Routh, surrendering and, police say, confessing to killing Kyle and Chad Littlefield. He said he had taken a couple souls, an officer told the jury, and had more souls to take.
How you doing? You okay? You're my hero, bro.
The movie American Sniper depicts Kyle's 4 tours in Iraq and how he coped with post-traumatic stress by helping other veterans, something he was trying to do for Routh at the Rough Creek Lodge gun range. Photos of the crime scene make it clear the men shot dozens of rounds before prosecutors say Routh turned on the other 2, shooting them repeatedly in the back and elsewhere. Both men were found with loaded pistols in their waistbands, the safeties still on. The defense argues Routh, quote, was in the grip of a psychosis when he killed, even fearing for his life. After he fled the crime scene, Routh stopped at a Taco Bell, then drove to his sisters, who called police.
He said that he killed 2 guys. They went out to a shooting range, and he's all crazy. He's psychotic.
One of the responding officers was wearing a body camera. Jurors could hear Routh saying, quote, I can feel people feeding on my soul. And he asks, quote, is the apocalypse upon us right now? Judgment Day in the trial still a couple of weeks away. For today, Jacob Rascone, NBC News, Stephenville, Texas.
Another big story that we're all following, the Las Vegas Muslim community and UNLV's Muslim Student Association holding a candlelight vigil tonight for the victims of that Chapel Hill shooting. 3 Muslim students gunned down in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The FBI has opened a preliminary investigation into whether the shooting was a hate crime. So far, Chapel Hill police say the incident appears to have been sparked by a dispute over a parking space. The vigil will be held at UNLV's Student Union at 6 p.m.
Well, Army officials have approved hormone therapy for Chelsea Manning. That is the soldier who was convicted of leaking classified documents to WikiLeaks. Well, this is according to U.S. Today, and the treatment apparently is going to allow Manning to transition into a woman while still an inmate at the Army's Fort Leavenworth prison. Manning, who's formerly known as Bradley, had to sue the government to get the treatment. Transgendered people are not allowed to serve in the U.S. military, but the VA does provide transitional hormonal treatment for veterans. Manning is eligible for parole in about 7 years. All right, we are gonna get right on to weather here. The temperature is currently outside right now. You can see in the 70s, 69 in Anthem. We showed you that not too long ago. Let's go back to that live picture. It's just gorgeous outside. I love looking at this. I mean, seriously, you could go lay out at the pool this weekend and get a tan. I really make sure you wear sunscreen though. Beautiful day outside today. We've had a beautiful week, really. And we're really grateful, and we're really lucky that we don't have to deal with what they're dealing with on the other side of the country, because boy, it is sure bad over there. And when you take a look at the satellite radar, you can see we're still really working with not much here. I mean, we've got some high clouds up here in northern Nevada, but down here in southern Nevada, everything's looking pretty good. I'm going to move out of the way so you can see our clear skies. I mean, you don't need the satellite to see that. Just go outside and you can see it. Currently, or no, these are the highs for today. 75 in Alamo, 70 in Caliente, 78 in Overton. Still, it's even pretty warm on the mountain. 62 up on Mount Charleston today. In Las Vegas, we're going to hit a high of 77 degrees. Lots of sunshine out there. Barely any clouds in the skies. Same thing for tonight. We're warmer for our overnight temperatures. 53 for our overnights. Mostly clear skies. And look at this gorgeous 7 day. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. We're going to be right at 77 for the next couple of days. Almost 80 in the middle of February, which is still considered winter. It is beautiful out there. Sunday, 77, and then for all of you who have Monday off for President's Day, 74. Then we dip down on Tuesday back into the 60s, but just for a minute, and then we're back up into the 70s Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be perfection, ladies.
And we love it. We can't get enough of it. Joined here on set by the lovely Marie Martera. Thank you so much for being with us.
Of course.
Well, you know, don't believe everything you see. We've heard that a lot, right? Well, that's the warning in today's Rip-Off Alert. And so Marie, she's going to tell us about this check cashing scam story.
And unfortunately, it's just one of so many.
Yeah.
Postal inspectors say there are a huge number of victims. Sure. And one man came forward with how he was almost robbed without even knowing it.
They had used my name and my address, and there was checks going out to various people for large amounts of money.
Sean Miller is the owner of Frank's Auto Shop. He was surprised to learn that the name and address of his business were being used on counterfeit checks. To date, Miller says none of his accounts have been compromised as best as he can tell, but he knows the reputation of his business is being compromised.
Sometimes they use legitimate company addresses as the return address on the postage that's being sent to different people to make it seem legitimate.
Postal inspectors say con artists use fake checks in all sorts of scams.
People look up the company and see there is a legitimate company there, but it's all a ruse. The company did not mail the check out.
The goal is to get victims to deposit the fake checks and send back money via money orders or even cash. Then days later, the victim learns the check bounced and they are out all of the money.
I think it's disgusting. I think it's, at least back in the old days when you got robbed, you knew you got robbed.
Sean is learning a valuable lesson about the need to monitor all of his accounts every day.
I also look at all of my credit cards closely since I got the call, so that I'm online checking my balance, checking to see what was spent, make sure that I recognize the transactions.
In the meantime, postal inspectors are advising consumers to be on the lookout for companies looking to hire people to stuff envelopes with those fake checks.
If you've been hired to put checks into envelopes and you're being provided postage, you need to contact the postal inspectors and find out if this is a legitimate job.
So here's what you need to know. If consumers ever receive a check they're told to deposit or to reship to someone else, you can always take it to a local bank for authentication.
Always good to know. Marie, thank you so much for always passing along those great tips. All right, we'll see you Monday.
Yes.
Okay. Well, ahead and trending today, President Obama appears in a BuzzFeed video promoting health care. He has a selfie stick and all. We'll check it out. Coming up next.
All right, time for trending today. And a group of high schoolers from Washington State are going on record. They're huge fans of Jimmy Fallon, and they think that they could go head-to-head with the host of The Tonight Show. A group of kids at South Kitsap High School in Washington, who perform every single day, are looking for a new challenge. This one would involve an improv-off with none other than the host of The Tonight Show. And the YouTube video issuing that challenge has already gotten 40,000 views. So far, the students haven't gotten a response from Jimmy.
Fallon. Here we go.
But they're not giving up. Look how many of them there are.
So cool. Yes.
They've taken to social media to push their campaign using the hashtag SK versus Fallon, and I'm sure he's already seen it.
Gosh,
And if he hasn't, it won't be much longer.
I think he's going to pick up on that.
Oh yeah,
I do.
And you know he'll be game.
He's great. We
Yeah.
love Jimmy Fallon. He's just done so much for late night TV. Okay, so the president decided to have a little fun about the healthcare plan. Mr. Obama did a self-mocking video for BuzzFeed, all to get the word out that Sunday is the last day to sign up for Obamacare this year. The 2-minute clip called Things Everybody Does But Doesn't Talk About hit the web Thursday. In it, Obama holds out a selfie stick. There he goes, snapping pictures of himself in multiple poses.
Who's that guy?
In one shot, yeah, we got to figure that one out. Obama sports aviator glasses, outstretches his arm as you saw there. And the White House says the video is an effort to try to reach the younger Americans who might be less inclined to get the message from more traditional forms of media.
So I'm just wondering, if they were going to make this video, how come no one cleaned that mirror?
I knew you were going to say something. You and
distracting.
Kim both talked about the window, or what, the mirror needed to be Windex.
It's dirty.
They didn't quite get to it.
So I don't know who the other guy was in the video, but apparently he's just being tongue-in-cheek about
Yeah, he's just trying to,
things everybody does in the
having
room when they're in front of a
fun.
mirror and nobody's watching.
Just having fun with it and trying to kind of reach people where they are.
Oh.
So there you
Okay.
go.
Well, anybody who knows me knows I'm a big believer in pets and their connection to the people who treat them right. I don't even call them pets.
No, she
My dog
doesn't.
is my daughter. Both my dogs are my
Yes.
daughters. This dog, though, has most others beat, and I have to wonder if mine would do this for me. I'm not sure. Security cameras in Cedar Rapids,
I love
Iowa,
this story.
capture this pooch that we're talking about walking right through some automatic doors and into the hospital where her owner was taken. So security guards say it took them calling the number on Sissy's tag to put the pieces together. They didn't know what the heck she was doing there. Dog, by the way, his name is Sissy. Her owners say that she's never run away from home before, and the family still cannot figure out how the dog knew where to go. But I think it was something, I don't know exactly how many miles she traveled, but she walked a really long way, several miles. Look at this little schnauzer. Just walks right in, and she just keeps sniffing her way to find her owner. That is so cute and true love.
That's love. That's a true friend, that's for sure. All right, coming up on the other side of the break, for centuries people have written letters to stay connected. These days you can even use an app to write a letter for you. The latest on the changing dynamic in today's Family 411.
And police need your help finding a suspect in a deadly stabbing, how you can help them. News 3 live at 12:30, coming up right after this. Right now on News 3 live at 12:30, road rage. A woman shot by a driver after tempers flare. The latest on her condition and the message from her family coming up in a live report.
And something that a lot of people are talking about, 50 Shades.
Yeah.
Not just a romance novel anymore. It is heating up theaters across the country. But here's the question. Some are saying that this movie promotes violence against women. We asked you. You sounded off. You're going to hear your responses coming up on News 3 Live at 12:30.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We've been telling you all morning about this horrible shooting involving a mother of 4 while she was teaching her daughter how to drive late last night.
It did happen late last night. She is in critical condition, but we don't know if she's going to stay in that condition. Her husband talked to reporters a few minutes ago saying that she might be taken off life support. But right now we want to go to Antonio Castellan. He is live in that family's neighborhood. Antonio, we just heard that emotional plea from the husband during that press conference to find the shooters. What more can you share with us?
Right now, Metro Police detectives are interviewing Robert Myers. Last night, his wife, Tammy Myers, was shot in a road rage incident. We heard Robert Myers speak emotionally about what happened to his wife. Here is a picture of the 44-year-old woman. Tammy is a nurse. She is on life support at UMC Hospital. Robert Myers said at a news conference he plans on taking his ward. This road rage incident happened after 11 last night near Alta and Cimarron. Robert Myers tells us his wife and daughter were at a parking lot driving. Once they left the parking lot, Tammy was driving the speed limit. A man was behind her, and Robert says that man didn't like the speed she was going. The man driving almost hit Tammy's car. The suspect supposedly sped up and pulled in front of Tammy's car and slammed the brakes. Tammy then swerved to avoid him. Tammy avoided him, and they made it to their house. The Myers daughter, 14-year-old daughter, ran into the house. The suspect pulled out a gun and Robert says at least one bullet hit his wife in the head. Witnesses say they saw 3 men in a silver car speed off. This is what message Robert Myers had to say.
If anybody out there, anybody has any information, I'm not going to give any details right now. That's for the police because I don't want to ruin any possible chance of these killers found. But I will let all you Nevadans and Las Vegans know and across wherever who's listening, this was a mother of 4. I loved her, and she was a good woman, and she didn't deserve this. It's all she's ever done is help people. And that's all I have to say, guys.
The suspect's car is described as a silver compact car. Witnesses say 3 men were inside that car. All we've been told is that possibly it was 2 black men and a white man. The family is begging for tips to be called in, email, texted, whatever you can do. Robert Myers is asking that the public helps out, and you could call Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. Right now, police are not saying if they have any leads. Again, the family is stressing. They're asking people to please call in and get these guys under arrest. Reporting live, Antonio Castellan, News 3.
Thank you so much, Antonio, for that report. And this is obviously a very difficult story to cover. And, you know, we were there this morning. I was near the home. You were at the hospital. And, you know, in our jobs, you don't want to be invasive. You don't want to be disrespectful to the family. But you were there. And you saw the family outside the hospital. They were very distraught. But yet, he really felt the need that he needed to say something.
Yeah, we were actually there covering a different story.
Yeah, that's right.
And I saw them. You know, you don't want to invade their
Absolutely
privacy.
not.
But
Yeah.
it was very clear to me that he wanted to
say
talk. He
something,
had a
yes.
message for the suspects, and I just can't even imagine what they're going. He hasn't. I don't even think he slept yet.
No.
He drove all night from
right.
California, where he was when he got the call, to get back here, and now he has to make this horrible decision to probably have to pull his wife off of life support. He also told me his daughter is feeling a lot of guilt because she feels like it was her fault because she wanted to learn to drive. Their son is feeling guilty because he didn't feel like he could do enough to protect them, and he said he feels guilty because he wasn't even here.
It's just a tragic story all the way around, and you know, your hearts just go out to the family. And again, they're asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers at number 702-385-5555. And I think they described the 3 people they're looking for: 2
black
males
men and a white man. That's the first description that we've gotten from police. So we don't know who the shooter was, but that's the description we can give you. Again, a silver 4-door sedan.
Silver 4-door sedan. All right, story we'll definitely stay on top of. Well, on to this new video today from Metro Police showing the moments after officers shot a man with a gun. Take a look.
That's the suspect laying on the ground. Weapon here.
Officers responding to a call earlier this week at the Suites on Boulder Highway near Flamingo eventually found the suspect and gave him commands to stop. Soon after, a scuffle between the suspect and one of the officers broke out. That's when a second officer noticed a gun in the suspect's waistband. The suspect pulled out the firearm and began pointing it toward officers. And you saw in the body cam video there that police released. The second officer fired, hitting the suspect multiple times. As this was unfolding, a large crowd gathered.
You see that it's very difficult for these officers to keep control of that crime scene when you have a large crowd that's gathering between the buildings that are coming.
Undersheriff told us that the suspect is still recovering at Sunrise Hospital.
Well, 2 more teenagers are finally behind bars this morning. These are the 2 men that they've been looking for connected to that violent home invasion and rape that happened last month in the southwest portion of the valley. Police say a total of 5 teenagers broke into a home near Fort Apache and Blue Diamond. The men took turns raping one of the women inside, and they also stole several items from the house. There were also children inside that house. Detectives say they threatened to kill the man and the woman in front of those children. Metro says both teens have been arrested. They are minors. Their names have not yet been released.
Police say they know who stabbed a man to death last month. It happened back on January 10th near Bruce in Washington. Metro says they found a man dead from multiple stab wounds. They believed he was attacked. Officers say that this man, 43-year-old Santos Urbino Jurado, was involved in that murder. He stands 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighing 225 pounds, 55. Well, for centuries, people have written letters, of course, to stay connected. These days, you can even use an app to do it for you.
Well, nowadays, kids, I don't even know if they know what a number 2 pencil is, honestly.
I don't think they write.
Right? So writing can be a way for moms to get through to their children when the spoken word doesn't seem to suffice. Well, some moms shared their letters with Local 12's Sheila Gray. Well, she's not local to us, but she's the reporter who did this story. Here's more with our Family 411 today.
You've probably heard or read that letter writing is on the decline. It's because of these. Scholars say we're losing a lot of our history. You don't really document your life in a text message. But writing here can be a great way for moms to check in with their feelings here.
I'm a big writer. I love to write, and I love to I feel like it's very cathartic to get things out.
It gets the stress out. It gets your feelings out.
Most moms will tell you our kids don't think much about mom's feelings.
Says goodbye. I'm running away because I cannot stand how you treat me.
Letters can provide comic relief.
It's so funny because he wrote on my party girl stationery.
Payback.
This is why we save things, you know, to embarrass them.
They can also be therapy. Research shows expressive writing can help us with stress, lower blood pressure, and even speed healing.
Help me keep things in perspective.
Jen Jordan hasn't stopped writing since her son Jacob was diagnosed with autism.
Your patience with me is far greater than I have probably deserved.
He's 13 now, and Jen calls him her teacher.
You are the greatest seeker of joy that I know.
Karen Cuppa has a similar take in a birthday letter to her grown daughter, Miranda.
Life threw a few curves at you, but you always seem to find the good in each of those pitches and knock them out of the park. She just finds the best in everything.
For Laura Powell, writing to sons Joey and Julian is a way to remember her own parents.
I really reach back to the things that my parents said and did. We love raising you. We can't wait till you get home from school. But now I get it because I feel the same exact way.
I want him to know that every day I'm trying my best.
New mom Jen Dalton has already started a journal for baby Christopher with a poignant entry about the recent passing of her dad.
And I'm pretty sure he held on until he knew you were born safely. He was wonderful, and I'll make sure that you know all about him. I can see him in your eyes.
It's a form of family history for a time she may not remember when he's grown, and a reminder to live in the moment.
Another thing that makes me happy is what you're like right now, what you were, all the things that you're going to be.
Because those moments go by so fast.
All right, so these days, letters and technology can mix a bit. We're talking about Pinterest, for those who might not know about that.
I love Pinterest.
Yes, this little social media place where you can pin little pictures and things of that nature. Well, it has lots of pages for stylish stationery and even for how to write a good letter. There you go.
All right, coming up next in The Buzz, it's a day for love tomorrow, but not for your lover. Really? Well, the fun spin on Valentine's Day that's picking up steam and how people are celebrating it today.
And while many are excited to see 50 Shades of Grey, some are saying that it promotes abuse and violence toward women. So we put the question to you. You shared with us what you thought about it, and we'll share those responses coming up.
All right, thanks for staying with us, everyone. Here's a live look at the Flamingo, of course, where Donnie and Marie Osmond perform their hit show. And if you would like a chance to meet Donnie, you'll get a chance later this month. Next Friday, Donnie Osmond is celebrating the recent release of his 60th album, The Soundtrack of My Life, with CD and poster signings at the gift shop. That's going to happen from 4:30 to 6. Fans can start lining up as early as 3 o'clock.
Did you say 60th album?
That's what it says.
Wow, that's incredible. They have a great show, too, the two of them. Brother-sister duo, still going strong. Okay, so we're buzzing today. In The Buzz, tomorrow, of course, is that day of love, Valentine's Day. You wore red for Valentine's Day. Very nice. But there's an alternative to the day of love for your lover. You already know what it is. If you watch the NBC hit comedy television series Parks and Recreation, you know today is Galentine's Day.
I did not know this.
Well, now you know, and everybody at home. This is a good one, I think. Actress Amy Poehler's character on Parks and Rec created Galentine's Day for women as a day to celebrate friendship and girl power. Fans have caught on from going to lunch with their gal pals to planning super luxurious getaways. According to a recent study by the Skinny Cow brand, 71% of women say that their best girlfriend understands them better than anyone else. 70% say that they would rather have drinks with their best gal than their significant other. And 1 in 3 say their first love was a female friend.
Well, it depends on what's happening. If my husband is watching football all day long, then yeah, I'm going out with the girls because I've had enough. But you know, I like my dates with my hubby too.
No, those
you
are
have
good.
to have a good balance.
You do, and for me, this works out well because, you know, I'm solo, and so it's nice to know that, you know, you don't have to sit at home and be moping around because
Yeah.
you're not with someone. And you know what? It's great to know that you can lean on that girlfriend for support, go out and have a good time, and just celebrate that love and friendship that you have between each
And
other.
I think there's a lot of pressure with the Valentine's Day
It
thing.
is.
Most of the pressure is on the man. You better make it really good. It's just another day. You know, just enjoy the day, whether it's with your girlfriends, whether it's with your dog at home. That would be me, actually.
I think the big thing is just showing the people in your life who are around you that are special to you that you love them.
Okay, happy
There you go.
Valentine's Day to you.
Valentine's Day, Valentine's, whatever you celebrate.
Okay, so in our Facebook question today, we asked you, well, a lot of people are very excited to see 50 Shades of Grey, which comes out tonight. Some are saying that it promotes abuse and violence towards women. So we are wondering, what do you think about that? Here are some of your responses. Brian Gillian says, in part, it's a movie, fiction. If you don't like it, don't go see it. Most movies can be picked apart and portray something.
All right, we also heard from Lizette Davila. She says, aren't these the same people that were excited for this film to be made? Did they not read the book?
Tiffany Bryant says, in part, S&M is not abuse if used right.
Okay. Well, we always appreciate what you have to say, so join the conversation online. Just head to facebook.com/News3 Las Vegas and like our page. You always give us such interesting responses.
Yeah.
Of it.
Okay, we also love the weather.
Oh, we
It is
do.
just gorgeous out there. Just take a minute and look at this shot right now on your screen, because you could be living on the East Coast and you could be covered in snow. It was
Ugh.
like, you know, 1 degree in New York today or something crazy. So we're really lucky. We're in the 70s today. It's going to be beautiful. And we're going to stay in the 70s for most of our 7-day forecast. You'll see one little 66 on there on one day, Tuesday, but that's only going to last so long that we're back in the 70s. Tomorrow, it's going to be perfect for Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or Bro Day, whatever it is for you.
Take your choice.
Take your choice.
Yeah.
Sunday, it's going to be beautiful as well. If you have Monday off for President's Day, it'll be beautiful.
You know, I just think this weather has been picture perfect.
Bottom line, it's just going to be 70s and sunny out. And that's all I got to say about that.
No complaints.
Yeah.
I'll take it. All right, so still to come on News 3 Live at 3, we're checking out all the ways you can celebrate Valentine's Day with your honey. Today, News 3's Vicki Gonzalez is hanging out in a hot
lucky
air
her.
balloon, right? So she's going to hitch a ride, have a little fun, show you how you can really take it to a new level.
Plus, tired of your text ending up in the wrong hands? Have you ever sent like a butt dial text? I've done that. Well, there's a new app designed with privacy in mind. How Confide is keeping prying eyes away from your secret messages. We'll have those stories, plus weather, all the breaking news and more. We have a busy news day today.
That we have.
All of that coming up on our next newscast, which is News 3 Live at 3.
All right, you want to stay with us? We have some special guests in studio. They are performing this weekend at the Orleans. You'll know who they are when you see them. Big time stars. We're so excited to have them right here in the News 3 studio.
Yay! We're going to talk with them. We're going to introduce you to them. Marilyn McCoo, Billy Davis Jr. here in studio. We'll have more of that coming up after this. All right, so in case you missed this like 4 minutes ago, weather is gorgeous outside, 70s and lots of sunshine. I think it's going to be a great weekend for you to get out and enjoy the holidays. We have 2 of them this weekend. We have, of course, Valentine's Day tomorrow. Here's our overnight temperature. And then we have President's Day on Monday, so those of you get a 3-day weekend, lucky you. This would be a good weekend to go out and see a fabulous show.
Oh. It would be indeed. And actually, we're going to give you a little preview of that today.
Look who we have in studio.
You know these lovely folks. Oh, so accomplished, and we're so excited. You came to see little us.
Oh, yes. We just love it that you invited us to be here.
yes,
This is great.
Marilyn McCoo and Billy
Yes.
Davis. Okay,
Yes.
so you've won. Let me make sure I get this right.
Get it right.
First of all, you're performing at the Orleans this weekend, but you have received 7 Grammy Awards, 15 gold, and 3 platinum records throughout your years together in the music industry. We are so happy to have you here in our studios today.
Thank you. We're so glad to be here. We're so happy to be back in Vegas. New Orleans is such a great place, and we're really looking forward to it.
So tell us about the show.
Well, it's celebrating love.
Oh,
and of course,
perfect.
we've been married 45 years, and so we celebrate love all the time.
What's the secret?
How do you do it?
What's the secret?
Getting along. What compromise,
Actually,
right?
it's compromise, and not only that, we're best friends.
Yeah.
You know, and that's got to that plays a very important role in
That
our
makes such a
relationship.
huge And you work together, too, so-
All day, every day.
Yeah.
We don't know how not to be together. You know?
And we have an extra special added thing happening this weekend.
Okay.
One of the original members of the Fifth Dimension, Lamont McLemore,
Yes.
is launching his new book called From
fantastic.
Hobo Flats to the Fifth Dimension. And he's going
love
to
it.
have a reception introducing his book at the Orleans Hotel, and then he's going to
Yes.
come and see us. We're just going to be partying all weekend long.
It's Vegas.
And
That's what we do here.
That's
So
what
you're
we do.
performing Saturday and Sunday?
And Sunday.
Okay,
Oh,
fantastic.
2 nights.
8 o'clock each time?
Yes,
It couldn't be more
absolutely.
perfect for this Valentine's Day weekend.
And we're going to be singing the music that people want to hear from us, and we're going to be surprising them with some special things. So we're going to have a good time.
There's going to be a lot of love in the room.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, why don't we get that love
They can show
started
us a
now?
little love.
Yes.
Show us a little bit love. You want us to show you some love?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Do your thing. We're going to step out of the way. We're going to let everybody enjoy this
exciting.
exclusive
Okay,
sneak
well,
peek.
God bless you guys.
Oh,
You're
you
just a
too.
delight.
Thank you.
Every day there's something new. Honey keeps me loving you. And with every passing minute, oh baby, so much joy wrapped up in it. Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Oh, heaven must have sent your precious love. Oh.
And now I got a song to sing, telling the world about the joy you bring. And you gave me a reason for living. And ooh, you taught me the meaning of giving.
Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Oh, heaven must have sent your precious love. Oh, to find a love like ours is rare these days. 'Cause you show me what happiness is in so many ways.
In the mirror, and I'm glad to see laughter in the eyes where tears used to be.
What you've given me, I could never return. 'Cause there's so much, girl, I've yet to learn.
And I want to show my appreciation. 'Cause when I found you, I found a new inspiration.
Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Oh, heaven must have sent your precious love. Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Oh, heaven must have sent your precious love. Oh, heaven must have sent you from above. Oh, heaven must have sent your precious love.